Um, now it's official. For those who don't know me, my name is Victor Edwards. I have the pleasure of serving as chair of Community Board 9 for our guests. We don't have a quorum, so we're going to call the meeting to attention at this point at 6:58. And as people come in, we can call the meeting to order. So I'm going to drop right down into my chair's report, which is in your packet. And I'm going to keep it brief because we'd like to fellowship and share food with everyone that's here and be thankful for the year that has passed. So there's several items on my chair's report that are of importance, but I'm going to go through them quickly. 1727 Amsterdam Avenue, many might know at 145th Street, that building will be demolished, planned to be demolished and rebuilt, containing some of the facilities that are there now, Emma Bowen Center. So myself and Laquita Henry met Monday with the Bowen Center to make sure they were okay with the space they are going to receive, because it will be a smaller space. Heritage Health will be moving down the street, which is only about 2 or 3 blocks away. So that will work out okay as far as we can see. We will keep an eye on it. I told them I wanted them, meaning BRC, the developers, to meet with all the stakeholders in the neighborhood, schools, churches, library, and things of this nature, because it'll be supportive housing, which we do need in the area, but we want to make sure the area remains safe. One of my issues with supportive housing, and often people say to me that I'm a not in your backyard type person. And my answer to that is not everything in my backyard. We have a lot of supportive housing in the area. Some of it runs very well and others not as well. So we're trying to develop a great relationship with BRC to ensure they're good neighbors. So we will work on that. Also listed here is PS 125 playground, a beautiful playground that was sitting for a few months waiting for final construction. That happened 2 Mondays ago. I went to the ribbon cutting with our treasurer, Deidre McIntosh Brown. Young people are very excited about that facility. I'm looking forward to the community using it. Tennis court, soccer field, all type of exercise apparatus. So that was a good day for us. Cannabis dispensaries. CB9 has a cannabis task force, and we're working to make sure we screen new facilities coming to the area. The Office of Cannabis Management is still getting themselves together. As they stated themselves, they are flying the plane while building it. Okay, so that makes it a little difficult for us to come up with regulations around that, but there are some regulations in terms of how close to a school, house of worship, other dispensaries. So we've been interviewing some people for dispensaries just recently. We will keep you up to date with how that goes. Because once they're there, we want to make sure they're good neighbors, just like any other facility that comes into the area. So we will keep you up to date with that. On the back of my chair's report is probably the most important item, and that item is just to say thank you. As the year comes to a close for meeting purposes, I would like to thank each and every one of our board members and our community partners as we end this year. Every vehicle must have an engine to make it go. And our engine that drives CB9, our co-chairs, our members, and our wonderful staff. I can't say enough about the officers that I work with, the co-chairs that have taken on the commitment of chairing these committees, making it move, and the awesome staff that we have, led by Ms. Yutha Prince, who makes this all work. Also, Akil Ellison, one of our new members, I appreciate your work and everything. And Madison,
Ayala,
Madison Ayala, thank you. I see that name every day, I just couldn't pull in my head. They make it work, they really do. I've gotten compliments from the outside, people that call, come by the office. We are trying to make an office that is inviting to people, and you can come and feel like you're at home, and we get work done. In my prior life, I was an office manager, so I have a certain way I like to make things look inviting, that you can come in and you get things done, and I think we're accomplishing that goal. So I'm very proud when I say I'm the chair of the board because of the staff that is behind me and my co-chairs that work with me. So thank you one and all, appreciate it. Moving on. We have some special guests this evening. I've invited a few people. Some are here, some have not made it here yet. But I did want to acknowledge two of our people, the president and vice president at 3333, Giovanni Pachado, and president, and Helen McAllister, vice president. I had the pleasure of attending their tree lighting ceremony last Saturday. I had a great time. It was just so good to see the young people and the elders enjoying themselves. So thank you for what you do for the community as well. Also, a special thanks to the people who provided the food this evening, which we're going to speed this meeting up so we can partake of that.
All right, I know that's right.
Dinosaur Barbecue,
Nice.
West Side Market, and Oasis. Where's the brother? He's here. Oh, Gemma Booth, thank you for the smoothies. And
La Esquina de Sazón.
La Esquina de Sazón. Thank you.
They're on Broadway.
137. Yes. They pay with all the fees. And Dinosaur Barbecue, of course, down there. Thank you one and all, appreciate it. I just also came from Manhattanville Houses for their Christmas party, just to meet with people there, and saw Sean Abreu, our city council member, and spoke with him. And the TA president sent her regards. She couldn't attend, but she did send her regards to everyone here and thanked us all for the work we do. So thank you. We'll move on to Treasury report.
So good evening, everyone. The treasury report is in your packet. And as you can see, our expenses have been on storage, office equipment, and maintenance rental, and cleaning services. There ends my report.
All righty. Next, district manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. The district manager's report is included in your packet. I just wanted to announce that it's that time of the year. HOPE, that's the homeless outreach population estimate. They're asking for volunteers to count the homeless in the district. If you're interested, you can see me after the meeting or during the meeting for the information on how to count the homeless individuals in the district. Other than that, I'd also like to thank the individuals in the back of the room for serving the food. Bree, if you could raise your hand. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, that concludes the district manager report. Report from on West Harlem Development Corp.
Hi, before I do that, I just mentioned it says hold on just so you can't get into the computer, so he needs help. So I would like to let you know.
Okay, hold on.
Good evening, everyone. The board, the WHA board met on December 13th.
Yeah.
Here.
Good evening, everyone. The board meeting took place on December 13th. The annual meeting will take some place sometime in January, February. The date hasn't been scheduled yet.
There was a new, some of you may recall that there was a new board members outreach. The HTC is expanding its board to include new members. The process is still ongoing. There were applications submitted, and as soon as the process is complete, we will be doing a report to let everyone know who the members are. What we did also find out is that WHDC was advised by the West Harlem Group Assistance. Hey, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The West Harlem Group Assistance, as many of you know, WHDC used to have the West Harlem Skills Training Center on 134th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. As of January 1st, that space will no longer be available. And West Harlem Group Assistance is retaining use of that space for their own projects. So just needed to let everybody know that. I just found that out, so I wanted you to know that. Let me see. The Annunciation Park, the renovation project was completed. WHDC and CB9 and the Department of Parks worked together to help make that happen. So I want to acknowledge that. The community benefit grants will take place in the spring of 2024. The financial statements for 2022 are on the website. The link is in the report. There were Seniors Coalition events. There was a paint sip at Harlem School of the Arts. On November 27th, there was a paint sip event. And it was, I've been to a paint sip before, but it's where you have the chance to paint. Well, you don't know about that. You don't know about that. So this was a new experience, you know, so I did my artwork. So I figured that whenever South Beach is having an auction or something, I'll be able to have something to contribute. Right.
Ms.
You understand?
Johnson, did you sit
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
to check?
I haven't said tonight. But we'll get to that. Okay. There was a paint and sip, and and Deirdre, back me up. Okay, please do. We were sipping apple cider, soda, and water.
All right.
You have to experience the other.
Exactly. Well, you know, listen, we have to make sure that we're doing it right and not allowing other people to be influenced. And anyway, you understand. Yes. So, yes, but we did have a meeting time.
The paintings was some of the best.
Excuse me?
The influence painting was some of the best.
But I had a great time, I'll tell you that, on sparkling cider, ginger ale, soda, and water. Let's clear that up, okay? And then there was the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. There were buses that took people to go directly. The WHDC donated tickets to the senior organizations. There was on December 7th and December 13th. There was round trip bus service for those who wanted it. And it was wonderful. Both events were really great. And I have to give acknowledgement, of course, to WHDC, but also to Mr. Louis Hamer from Harlem Advocates for Seniors, who's like the main coordinator for that, and the Senior Coalition volunteers who go to both events from these out. WHDC also did turkey giveaways. 1,000 turkeys. They donated 1,000 turkeys. The area, CB9 area organizations, including Grant, Manhattanville, the 26th and 30th precincts, and the Boys and Girls Club of Harlem. There were other events that took place, but before, I would just like to say it's been an honor to serve and try to give that information to everyone. This is like, it's not an easy role, but I've been doing the best I can. I'm thankful to everybody who's been supportive and everything, and I'm thankful that you know that's the interest. I'm also happy about the partnership between WHDC and CB9 to be able to make sure that information is flowing. So, thank you all for your cooperation, and if there's any questions, feel free to let me know.
I just want to add,
You mind if I come over? Okay.
I just want to add to your presentation, with all due respect. I know you mentioned about the efforts of the Harlem Development Corporation and Park Department have been doing very well.
Okay.
And I wanted to put on the record that the recognition of Uptown Inner City League Councilman McCollum, so President McCollum, I will advocate for that area to be spruced up and develop a more safer area than it has. And I hope that through my efforts, that we made a difference. We may not have made a difference financially, but we made a difference and making that park the way it is.
Well, thank you for your contribution. And my omission was not a non-acknowledgement of that. It had the information that I had, John. So thank you for the help. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next would be the UMass report from Reverend Morgan Thomas. Is she on the line? Okay. We were supposed to have Department of Sanitation students to give their quarterly report, but I don't see them here, so we will pass right on by that. Well, President's office.
Yeah.
Well, President's office report. Yes. Oh, in person, yes.
Hello, good evening, everyone. You know what, me is on, can everyone hear me online? Can everyone hear me? Okay, great. So happy holidays, everyone. Our office has given, since the Thanksgiving holiday, our office has given away over 10,000 pounds of groceries, turkeys, hot meals, throughout that, holiday week. We gave out grocery bags outside of our North Manhattan office. We're able to have some for current residents as well, for those who couldn't make it out for studying seniors. So for the number of Christmas, holiday celebration, happy Hanukkah, to celebrate. So many especially involved at senior center integration, led by our esteemed president, of the 30th Precinct Council, Burbank State Park. Esteemed Ann Rocker here, our president attended that tree lighting. Our friends, Benny Farrell, Riverbank State Park, right? And so just happy holidays. I'm so happy to be here in person with everyone. As well as say earlier this month, I know it's been a long run of battle for everyone, including our office, with the opening of the schoolyard across from DFD5. Kips our middle school and Columbia Secondary School. So the Deputy Borough President Keisha Sutton James was able to join that school opening, and so many of you there. So we're thankful that that happened. The Borough President did write a letter in October. It was sad that it took that long to open. A lot of bureaucracy happening, but we're happy that it's finally open for kids to use it. I just want to say thank you all for also sending out the I know folks are asking, you know, if there's some sort of kind of certificate of recognition on, that will be provided to board members. No, but we definitely hope that you are also like keeping track, and we are also keeping track of who is the technical leadership training series. As you know, we have 3 mandatory leadership training series. We have the EO training, we have our conflict of interest training, EO, conflict of interest, and combating the bias. So our 3 mandatory trainings. For those who have missed it, the recording is not up yet, but we hope to get that up soon on our YouTube. But also for those who have missed those trainings and subsequent trainings, we had land use, we had a lot of great additional training. We'll have those 3 mandatory ones to be free. So please take a look out. You'll also be able to review the recording that will be counted as well. Other thing I did want to mention is that last week we had our public hearing on open meetings law. Your sheriff reported out, gave the opinion of the sheriff board, just kind of the challenges open meeting, it's effective, that has happened. Because we do know that these, the legislation will, expire July 1st, 2024. So we wanted to make sure that we had testimony from not only community board chairs, but also the public on, how people felt this work, during COVID and post-COVID. A lot of people, we saw a lot of increase, a lot of people saw a lot of increase in community participation. So we hope that the legislator will take that into account. We'll put a package together for those that gave in-person testimony, but also the written testimony that we asked for. Your community also verified and also gave testimony. So we appreciate everyone who participated virtually and in written form. Our president is going to try to make it to this evening's meeting. It might be on the later end, but he does want to come and kind of celebrate all at the end of the year celebration. One last thing I will say is that our capital funding is currently open. For those that have $50,000 or more of capital projects, so I'm thinking of our schools, I'm thinking of, our institutions, that maybe need an HVAC, a new elevator, building, et cetera. That money is open and available, so you have until February 22nd at 5 p.m. to submit. If you do need to meet, or if you have any, community folks that need to meet with our budget team to get more details on how they can be did. Last week the week before, we had a number of informationals for the schools and non-for-profits and those that work in city properties such as parks. That is also eligible for capital projects and funding for that. But if for those who have missed it, please make sure that they're getting in touch with our budget team. I think that's really, make sure that is being handled in the as well. In closing, sorry for taking too much time, but I did put in the table for those who are online, but thank you for managing print, and also Madison for making sure that you all are promoting information and I'm sending. We do have the infrastructure fundamentals program that's happening at the City College of New York. This is for ages 18 and older. This is the training for folks 18 and older to get infrastructure training, such as OSHA training, when you're thinking of kind of like trade jobs, transportation, buildings, energy, water, and also green jobs, et cetera, mentoring. We want to make sure we're promoting it to the colleges, coming out of the colleges. This is the Rangel Initiative, named after Charles B. Rangel, our former representative. So we really want to make sure our Black and brown folks are getting into these programs in this immediate community. So please, print it outside, please close to your building, please take a picture, send it to a young person. If they drop out of school, whichever, this is an opportunity for them to really funnel into a formal training and get a job that will continue to grow. We want to talk about the reasons. So that pretty much, and one last thing is a bittersweet announcement.
No.
What did you say?
Well,
I will be transitioning out of this office.
Congratulations.
Nope.
Not far.
But I will, starting January 22nd, I will be starting the new position as district manager for Queen Board 10. So your name, sir. I said it should be, but being a graduate of City College here in West Harlem, getting my start in the Edward T. Rogowski Fellowship, which connected me with the Assembly member for Eddie Farrell's office, actually. And I interned with his office, Mr. Steen, Assembly first. assembly district leader, called and said, yeah, we'll take this intern, and, I entered with that office. I learned the ropes, learned the services, learned the community, worked closely with Ms. Ann Rocker. I was able to watch the renaming of the Irving State Park, to Herman Irving State Park. And it's just been very beautiful to serve the community and be you all and move on to President Federal office, and then Assembly Member Al Haley's office, and then our President Mark Lee office, who is your former city council member. So it's been just a pleasure. So my last week will be the call, but just know that it's truly been wonderful working with all the new board members. I really we haven't been able to engage as much, but I will say when we were doing the appointments for this new incoming board member for this cohort, I was like, wow, this is like, I think board 9 got like a really great set of new board members, and I mean that. So all of you bring such great expertise and all of your passions and what you want to do professionally, and I think you all will really be who you are, and will continue to be a great asset to this board. So for those of you who are able to continue, please do so. And it's been a pleasure. I know. Well, it's trying to make its way here, so I'll be emailing, texting him to get his EPA, but thank you all.
Thank you so much. I think we have a forum to call the roll, but before I do that, I just wanted to acknowledge 2 items. One, at the table, you should see our quarterly newsletter. It was information gathered by the office staff and put together by Madison. Great information there. Secondly, most of you know Manhattan Legal Services worked out of our office for quite some time. That role will be taken on by Palante Harlem. We will send out a schedule when they will be in the office and trying to get the same day, the first Thursday of the month, but that's still to be determined. That with the housing crisis the way it is, it's very important that we have an advocate and a legal advocate at that to work with us on housing issues. So that information will come out shortly. So if you call the roll for us, see who we have.
April Adams. Joyce Adelume.
Here.
Walter Alexander is excused. Lee Antoine. Jane Arundel. Chris Berry. Here. Patricia Caldwell. Dan Cohen. Juan Colmenares. I see Juan Colmenares. Carlton Davis. There you are. Sharon De La Cruz. You are. Ms. Marita Dunn. Not seen Ms. Dunn. Elizabeth Eastman is excused. Victor Edwards. You. Lydia Garrison.
Here.
I heard it. There we go. Daria Hardiman. I saw Daria.
Yeah.
There you are. Monique Harden Cordero. Laquita Henry is on virtually, I believe.
Yes, she is.
Michael Iglesias, I think I saw virtually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Heather Jason. There you are. Patricia Wilder Johnson, we get support from. Kills on leave of absence. Ted Kovalev, that we head on. Tina Lumley.
Here.
There you are. John Martin Green, I saw.
Here.
Deirdre is here. Alana Mercado. There you are. Dr. Manguia is here. Stickney Mortensen.
I'm here.
Juaniros Ovalle. Juaniros. Solomon is here. Carlina Ramirez is here. No. Patricia Ramos. No, not online either. Annette Robinson, I see in the back. Amir Sadehi, I see. Clayton Sanford, I see virtually. Carolyn Thompson, I see. Hugo Torres Fetzko. No. Liz Whitetakis. I heard it. There you go. Miss Francina Waring.
Present.
Barry Weinberg is here, Shanika Wilson is here, and Lisa Yu is here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We have a quorum in person. So we only have 47 seats filled. Yeah. Thank you.
Moving forward, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Move second, and a motion to adopt the minutes with any necessary corrections.
Second.
Thank you. All righty, we'll jump into public section.
We have one.
One public session speaker. That would be Abidi. You have something you want to speak about?
Come on down. Yeah. You'll get 3 minutes, so you'll hear a timer from me.
Good morning, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having our beautiful community. My name is Abia Bajaba. I'm the owner of founder of Oasis Human Use. I came 2004 from Africa. I just arrived 1 block from here. Since that time, I didn't like this place. So I came with a diabetes. And I used to, my dad used to heal people as a like natural healer. But when I come myself, I discovered diabetes. The doctor gave me insulin, multiple insulin. My liver enzyme is high. My kidney function is low. So I didn't figure it out. I don't speak English. I don't have any money in my pocket. So like, this is the best country in the world. The beautiful boy, they have a beautiful other country. When I came, I thought it was gonna be like good, but the case is not. So I discovered, I studied a little bit nutrition, and then all the food we eat is not safe. After that, how can I improve myself first, and then the community I live? That time there's no healthy food like the way we see today, just like 1 block from here. And then I figured out a small store for rent. I called and I rent me doing this. So finally, after a long journey, the technique, I get that place. I opened Oasis Human Use to 2012. From that point, I go every church, Riverside Church, elementary school, secondary school, Columbia University, including all New York Fashion Week. I work with all major fashion weeks 2 times a year. So my point is, now I have 3 locations. All my locations, I focus in Harlem. The first location, 124 Fordham Broadway. The second location is 140 Amsterdam. The third location is 163 St. Nicholas. Before that, I have a community center where the people that can come share the knowledge they have. It could be nutrition, it could be exercise, it could be entrepreneur, anything for free. I rent a space. I ask my customer, why do you do nutrition, blah, blah. So I bring that to give that opportunity, free yoga, free music, free anything. Because the first thing or give for others is no money. Money that can run out anytime. But the knowledge, exercise, the one value inside yourself, so they give it to that. So because of the COVID, and now I'm looking for a space to work with the community. There's a lot of people who have the potential give, they want to give 1 hour a week, but we need one space. I try to work with the ground house.
we're gonna work with that. So thank you guys for anything. That my first location, I've been working with the Columbia, with talking. Hopefully I'm gonna open by Riverside, like new business school. Hopefully anything you want, and then we can support, we can work with Community 9. I'm very supportive for this community. Thank you guys. Have a great. Okay, I'll give it to you. My contact, is out there.
So the
Oh.
Thank you guys.
smoothies are in the back. They all get up at once, but they are in the back. They're very, I'm a smoothie maker myself every morning, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Already.
And the lentil sambucas are to die for.
Okay, we'll go on to elected officials that are here and online. I ask that you keep it short, so like I said, we can do a celebration and fellowshipping of the people who are here today. First up is Miss Nina. No, all right. That's what I'm kidding. Come on down.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It is so good to be here in person. What a miracle a couple of days off will do, right? Perfect. But as everybody knows, that we are getting the work done. So again, my name is Nina Norwood. I'm Deputy District Director for the United States Congressman Adriano Espaillat's Harlem office. Many of you, all of you, I know that I've been working with for very, very many years. I'm very proud to represent the congressman and to represent this community. So I'll keep my announcement or my report as quick as I possibly can. So one of the announcement that I didn't get a chance to make last month, I wanted to make it this one, so I'm gonna go back to go forward just a little bit. So the congressman secured 1 million in funding for Brother Sister Soul. Representative SYI delivered 1 million in federal funding for the Brother Sister Soul, benefiting nearly 600 elementary, middle, and high school youth from over 50 schools. So this would help with enriching experiences, providing daily meals to youth, enrich activities and academic success, contribute to Brother Sis dedication to its senior college success, which has resulted in a remarkable 95% graduation rate. So I'm going to flip forward. So one of the first announcements that I do want to make for this month is the Congressman also secured $3 billion for Green Climate Fund by the Biden administration. Representative Espaillat and other congressional members have spearheaded the effort to renew the U.S.'s commitment to the Green Climate Fund, a significant move that has received approval from the Biden administration. This commitment reflects a dedication to address environmental challenges and support global climate initiatives, making a positive step towards sustainability and reasonable climate action. So that's definitely very, very good. We're going to see a lot of changes coming behind that. So my last announcement, as I said, I'll make it brief, is as coming around that time of the year, Congressman Espaillat presents 6th annual Dominicans on the Hill. So every year, that's very much something that the Congressman is going to the most. That's going to be February the 7th, of 2024 at 10 a.m. at the Capitol Visitor Center. So of course, anyone interested in being able to attend Dominicans on the Hill this year, please reach out to our office. We are available and we'll definitely start working on that. So for the Office of Congressman Espaillat and all his staff, we wish everyone a happy and healthy and safe new year. We are very proud of all of the work that is going into this community from both this board and all the boards that represent the community of Harlem. And I'm very proud to be a part of it. So I understand that we have still many issues in our community that needs to be taken care of. The Harlem office is open to any community or constituent needs. We're at 212-663-3900. You can also come and visit our office. We're open and for anything that you need assistance with federally or otherwise, if we cannot help directly, we'll definitely be providing for whatever support we can provide. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak, and everybody please enjoy the rest of the year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nina. Next up is from Sean Abreu's office, Gabriella Corella.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to be brief. I first want to flag that Councilmember Abreu hosted a Christmas toy giveaway for kids in and around the district this afternoon. And thanks to our partners at Carpenter Contractor Alliance, we gave away over 250 toys, which is super special. We thank everyone who made this a special event. And after bringing this up in previous meetings, a different topic, I'm thrilled to share that Councilmember Abreo's legislation requiring sport venues to accept reusable water bottles passed the council yesterday. This is one of the council's most important pieces of environmental legislation of the year, supported by leading organizations like the National Resource Defense Council, New York League of Conservation Voters, We Act for Environmental Justice, and others. Policy analysts estimate that this bill could eliminate the consumption and disposal of hundreds of thousands of plastic beverage containers in a year, if not more. It's the first step of building green, sustainable habits among individuals and businesses. Thank you all for tonight. And also, I would like to give a special thank you because I think it's my third community board meeting. And it's honestly great to see what you guys have built in this community. I wish everyone a happy holiday, myself and our District 7 team. And I look forward to coming together back in the new year.
Right. I had a quick question. Was there something happening with 506 West 135th Street that your office reached out about? There's no deed transfer or anything?
I'm sorry, deep transfer?
506 West 135th, that's not up for ANCP, is it?
doesn't ring, that address doesn't ring a bell, but I could look into it in my email.
Okay.
I know
Got it.
they're
Okay, thank you.
asking earlier today about 95 Old Broadway and 5, I wrote it down, 545 West 126th Street. That I could probably give an update, but that is right.
Those are Manhattan Bills. Yeah, got it, thank you.
Thank you, Gabriella.
You're welcome.
Next up, Miriam Hernandez, Danny O'Donnell's office. You on the line? Yeah.
Is that here?
Zoya. Next, Zoya from Al Taylor's office.
Hello, give me one moment. Apologies, technical difficulties. But hello, on behalf of the assembly member, we wanted to wish everybody a happy holidays. The office is actually hosting a holiday celebration tomorrow at Esplanade Gardens in the community room. There are flyers that I believe was sent out to the community board that we can also distribute. We should also be expecting our mailers to, highlight what Al has been working on throughout the year. And if our office will only be closed on Monday and Tuesday, so the 25th and the 26th, and then we will resume normal office hours. We'd like to thank everyone for a really great year. And of course, our office is always open to any services, whether that may be relating to housing estate matters. If there are any questions, I'll leave my contact information in the chat below. But thank you and wish everyone a happy, safe, and warm.
Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Moving on. Next, we will go into our action items. First action item is ratification letter for support Cannabis Corner Education Module as well as other community education and engagement activities. You're presenting that?
Yeah, sure. I have limited capacity to speak, but good evening, everyone. My name is Monique Harding Cordero. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. I am the co-chair. I wear many hats. So in this capacity, I'm speaking as co-chair of the Cannabis Task Force. And the task force was established just to do a few things to help support those in our community who are looking to establish legally a dispensary or look at other opportunities that will help those individuals be successful while supporting the community. In this case, we are supporting one of our community partners, City College, through the Harlem Health Initiative. And we've worked closely with them in the past They've been supportive in terms of gathering data for us and gathering information from the community to survey and to get a better sense and understanding of what the residents of CP9 are thinking and how they are feeling in terms of everything that's happening around the cannabis industry. In any case, they asked us to provide a letter of support, and it's for a program, the Cannabis Corner, which will continue to focus on some really critical issues, mainly, of course, focusing on cannabis equity. It's pretty straightforward, so I don't want to take the time to read it because I think that all of you can read it yourself. It is a 2-page letter, so I'm not sure what happened to the other part, but just know that it is we are backing a major institution in our community that's doing good work. And that's it. I don't know if there's anything else I need to say in terms of the letter. Are there any questions
Question?
or comments from other members that work with me on the task force?
Okay. There's a motion in the back. Ms. Hardeman, what was your motion?
Unanimous consent.
Unanimous consent. Any objections? One abstention?
Okay.
So-
We haven't opposed, so,
Oh, we have an opposed?
yeah.
Okay, I will call a roll call vote then. Yes, so if everyone can make sure to mark on your sheet whether you are voting yes, no, or abstain, I will call the roll. If I complete the roll and I do not call your name, please at that point speak up. I'm only going to call the folks that I have present from the first roll call. Joyce Adelume, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Joyce votes yes. Chris Berry, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Chris votes yes. Patricia Caldwell, how do you vote? Oh, she wasn't, okay. Juan, how do you vote? Juan Colmenares?
Yeah.
Juan votes yes. Carlton Davis, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carlton votes yes. Sharon Dela Cruz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sharon votes yes. Victor Edwards, how do you vote?
Yes.
Victor votes yes. Lydia Garrison, how do you vote?
Abstain.
Lydia abstains. Daria, how do you vote?
Yes.
Daria votes yes. Monique Hardin Cordero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Monique votes yes. Laquita Henry, how do you vote? Laquita,
I think she's having trouble with her sound tonight, you guys.
oh, okay.
She texted me.
We can see the chat, Laquita, if you want to chat. Michael Iglesias, how do you vote?
Yes.
Michael votes yes. Heather Jason, how do you vote? Heather abstains. Patricia Watler Johnson, how do you vote? Patricia votes yes. Tina Lumley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tina votes yes. John Martin Green, how do you vote?
Yeah.
John votes yes. Martin votes yes. Deirdre McIntosh Brown, how do you vote? Deirdre votes yes. Yolanda Mercado, how do you vote? Yolanda votes yes. Dr. Mongolia, how do you vote?
Yes.
Phil Bonvie votes yes. Sidney Mortensen, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Sidney votes yes. Solomon Prophet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Solomon votes yes. Annette Robinson, how do you vote?
Abstain.
Annette abstains. Amir Siddiqui, how do you vote?
Yes.
Amir votes yes. Clayton Sanford, how do you vote?
Yes.
Clayton votes yes. Carolyn Thompson, how do you vote? Carolyn votes yes. Liz Whitetakis, how do you vote?
Yes.
Liz votes yes. Francina Waring, how do you vote?
Yes.
Waring votes yes. Barry Weinberg votes yes. Shanika Wilson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Shanika votes yes. And Lisa, you, how do you vote? Lisa votes no. Okay. By my count,
I
that,
see Laquita in the chat. She said yes.
okay, Laquita votes yes. By my count, I have one no. I have, I believe, 3 abstentions. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 yeses.
25.
That's what I counted. Well, yeah, yes. 25 number was just in. And 3 abstentions, yes. 1 no, 3 abstentions, 25 yeses. Okay.
Moving on to the next reso, 547-551 West 133rd Street, BSA variance. Who's presenting that? Sydney?
Yes, oh, sorry. Yes, this is, Rezo is supporting, a business at 133rd Street. They're asking for a variance on zoning. Right now it's half zone, residential and half zone for, got some background noise. Yeah. You just mute on,
It's
your,
Laquita's sound is working.
Right, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they need a variance by the New Board of Standard Appeals to allow them to continue to carry on their business and be a part of their zoning on their building. So we're good with it. There were some concerns about the parking outside the building, however, after making discussions with the owner and their lawyer, and some affidavits saying, it is not us, they say, and we leave them because we have now gone around and seen this, and so we are good for it. And in the reso, we had mentioned that, you know, as long as they continue to keep that parking, you know, temporary during business hours, they're also gonna put notes on the cars that they're waiting in line to move. So that they can, anyone can call them and make sure that they get the car moved if it's been there too long for any chance, but they're only temporarily being used. Who is parking there is another question. I know Liz walked by recently and she saw some in Manhattan. Now stop waiting for walking your car, so, you know, I don't know.
Just from what I've seen, they were getting blocked in by these cars with no plates.
Is that what it is?
Which are probably another one of the body shops on the block.
But it's still kind of a mystery, but it's not this business, so we want to make sure we support them, and we voted. Yes.
Oh, just a question, just curious, because for us, they didn't say about pushing the placards or the. But I think they didn't add that.
Yeah, talk up.
The question was about the note.
What was the question?
It was about this.
Yeah.
It's on the back of the affidavit, she wants to see the note, it's there on the back of the affidavit.
I know, I thought they didn't mention it in the affidavit.
Okay. So.
I think it's a Coty.
No, yes, just
Yeah,
says.
that's the note that put in the cars.
Okay.
So.
So just for the record, when we met,
I would guess.
I actually spoke with the 2-6 precincts captain to let them enforce that people are double parking on that block.
Yeah.
I know Liz had mentioned it, and I often drive that block, and they double park both sides of the street. So you have to wait for someone to come through before you can pull out and go, which I think is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And we have a community center on that block as well, where you have young people crossing the street and our seniors that go there. So it's very important. So we'll be keeping an eye on that business as well as the others on that block to make sure they adhere to the rules. So I just wanted to make that point as well.
Thanks, Vic.
All right.
I move for unanimous consent.
Any extensions? Anybody?
I'm gonna say.
One extension? Anybody not in favor? All righty. Okay. Yes. One extension.
Lydia Garrison.
That's Lydia.
Yeah.
So motion passes by unanimous consent. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sydney. Thank you, committee. On to liquor licenses, new applicants, retail permits, uniform services.
There are 6 applications on the sheet. They all been approved by different precincts, 1 from each precinct, 2 from each precinct, and 3 from the 13th precinct. Don't have any issues. Move it on.
Okay,
I have a question. I have 2 questions. Amsterdam Craft Cellar Port looks like it's the same address as O Craft Beer. Is this a full, are they going from beer and wine to full?
You want to say that again?
1739 Amsterdam Avenue. It looks like they already are a beer spot. Are they going from beer and wine to a full license? Got it. Okay, and I guess Twin Goat LLC is where Grill on the Hill is. Is Grill on the Hill closing or closed?
It is. It's closed.
It's closed. Okay, got it.
The new application.
Got it. So there's, yeah, a venue. Okay, thank you. Those are my questions.
all right, unanimous consent has been second for that. Any abstentions? Heather abstains? Okay, other than that, none? And
Three.
three.
That's just for retail.
All righty, so we're good there. Moving on to renewals.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Renew, yeah.
They involved in everybody, you said, 6 and we know. We know it.
Okay, any questions regarding these 3 renewal applications for licenses, liquor licensing?
Unanimous consent.
Second. Of course. Second, abstention. Heather abstains. Any questions, anyone voting against it? No, it passes. Thank you. All right. Old business. Any new business? None of your business.
A second there.
All right. Make sure your name is on your sheet. Sign your name on your sheet. Make sure you check off what you voted on.
Make sure names that
Mr. Chairman.
Alrighty. I'll make a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Mr. Chairman,
Happy holidays. to all.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir.
You've got the assistant commissioner for the sanitation.
Oh, somebody came on.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I've been, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
What's his name?
Good evening, everybody.
The Assistant Commissioner of Sanitation is on the line.
Is this Commissioner Ocatiero?
Yes, that is. Yes. Yes, I
All
am.
right, the floor is yours. Sorry.
Thank you very much. So sorry, we had an issue trying to connect, but we heard all of the conversation. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful Christmas holidays. We have very little to report. As you know, our program is ongoing in the district. We're actually more here to listen and take some feedback, if any, back to the agency. But so that will not keep you guys from the food. I know it's right back there. So let me wish everybody a very happy Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We'll be back again. I'm sorry I'm not there to eat with you guys, but please enjoy. Thank you very much.
Is there any update to my prior questions about how interested blocks could request to join the pilot program?
It's a question that is one that we are still looking at, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to give you, to mislead you, something that we are looking at. We'll get back to you just as soon as we have some clarity as to how we might want to, make that happen, okay? But right now, the answer will be, for now, I don't have a really clear answer that I can give you in terms of that.
Okay, we have one other question, Ms. Joyce Aderume.
Thanks so much. So far, so good, but the only comment that I received, actually one of those campaign workers is that when they are trying the big back after they have been empty, or before they were, that they choose from the trash falls on their head.
Oh.
Yeah. So they like to help them. So that the garbage is not falling.
On the sanitation workers said? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a bit news to me, but please, Mr. Chairman, if it's possible, if I can maybe get that information sent to my office, I would very, very appreciate to kind of take a look at that.
Okay,
I'm not
we'll do that.
that familiar with it, please, if you don't mind, please. Okay, thank you.
One other question.
No,
Sydney.
not for DSM, sorry, just a quick announcement before next month. We have the zoning for economic opportunity text amendment coming up. We spent a lot of time on this in our committee, and we want to make sure all board members review the information that we have, and it's huge, it's 1,200 pages. So we're a little overwhelmed by it. We're asking for all eyes to be on it. Next board meeting, next general board, we're gonna have a public session with DCP, and only really focused on that. So we need to have some sort of recommendation and comments on this by ideally January 31st. Unless things get postponed, but we should be ready to have something to review at that meeting, and questions from the public so we can add on to it. So that's just what I will send an email with all the details so you can read and learn.
Are there any specific items that you could have a particular committee focus on?
Yes, so we'll try to make the Economic Development Committee, and Joyce and Maria are already aware that this has a heavy impact for small businesses and things like this. There's going to be a lot of changes in zoning to, allow for more small business activity, but there's some concerns on that too, like, are people, cooking things in buildings and doing things in residential buildings.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of details in the details, right? So we know the eyes we can. So economic development, what else?
Health and environment.
Health and environment, absolutely. Health and environment should take a look. I really, it will affect just about everyone. So we are going to send it around. I said, you thought I'd send an email with all the links and all of that. Let's make sure to get it out to the full board membership. And then I'd like to get it out to the public list too. And then maybe do get a comment feedback form that people can send. So I'll put that together and you can send all that out.
The very, very high level headline is you'll be able to do more commercial activities in more places than you can now, including in either residential area or on ground floor retail in a residential building. So health and environment might be concerned, for example, if there are economic activities that create fumes that are going to start taking place in a storefront below apartments.
Right.
DEP is then going to be responsible for dealing with the fume regulations.
Joyce?
That's the number of street vendor license that
does not.
Kelvin?
This email to have been starting storage. I just want to give acknowledgement and recognition to the community for nine. We're doing a great job in this community, and particularly when my organization, should ever have any concern. I have a partner on their side of the table, on this side of the field, and just at our last meeting, I just want to give really true sincere recognition for Annette Robinson and delegation for the opportunity for me to get or to have a platform to speak about my concerns that have been ongoing at a lot of creation. And I believe that we made some great progress, but I think the work is still moving forward. And I think we're going to be successful. And I want to thank that committee, Park President.
And with that, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Hello, here. Alaska is my name. I'm sorry. I heard for cannabis and waste. But I wanted to give you some flyers. Yeah, so I saw you got it. Okay, yes, but if you can shoot me an email and then we can start. It is in yes. I'll get the business card. I have a digital one. Oh. Thank Otherwise, I'm trying to. No, they haven't, we just got hired, only 2 as a cannabis. City, so we're trying to get everything before things like that. It's very, I know. No, we don't have that many. So that's one of my, they tell us. Last month you have a bunch of. Well, people would pay, you know, because when there's something anymore. That too, you know, we said we want to be supportive of entrepreneurs because it seems like opportunities to the way. You join us. Yes, I am.